few years ago, BMW nearly killed the old air oil-cooled boxer engines, the classical BMW engines. But fortunately for their 90th anniversary, they put on the market the R90 model, from which until now a whole family grew out. It's called Heritage motorbikes, and one of its latest members, this family, is the Urban G S. So the name of the bike is R90 Urban G S, and we would like to show you this motorbike. From the point of the technical data, this motorbike is, we can say, absolutely the same as the last year debuted R90 Scrambler. No main technical differences between the two bikes. The only thing is the style, because this bike is absolutely the same looking, the same design as the very famous R80 G S from the 80s, which made the BMW Motorrad very successful and very famous again. So the little aerodynamical cover over the lamp, the mudguard, lifted up mudguard, these things, and the whole color of the bike is absolutely the similar as the R80 G S was in its time. That's why the per moved again back to between G and S letters. The engine is absolutely the same from the technical point as the last generation air oil cooled big BMW boxer engines was. DOHC 1170 cubic centimeters. In this era it is 110 PS and 116 Newton meter torque. This torque is the same as it was last year in the Scrambler because of the Euro 4 norms. The rear wheel is driven by a parallel shaft system. It's also technically part the same as it was in the big GS Air, RT and same era. The suspension is absolutely the same as it was in the Scrambler version. In the front we find two normal telescopic forks. We cannot change any parameters of it. The travel is 125 millimeters, and the degree is relatively flat. As a result of this and the length of the parallel in the rear, the wheelbase is pretty long. It's 1525 millimeters. So it's we can say that the Urban G S is a long motorbike. In the rear we find the normal central suspension unit. The travel is 140 millimeters, and we can only change the parameters of it with two irons and with handwork. So its motorbike is really not designed for traveling sometimes with passengers, sometimes without passenger. This motorbike is for one person. It's only about riding it. The seat position is the same as on all the other R90 models. We have a pretty stylish, but even this relatively comfortable seat. The foot pegs are positioned high, that's why the knee angle is relatively sharp. The fuel tank seems to be pretty long, although it's only 17 liters. And as a result of this, the steering bar is a bit far from us. That's why we are sitting on the bike with a relatively sporty position, and in this position we can ride the bike very good. The suspension is the same as it was in the Scrambler, so it's not too soft and it's not too hard. It's much softer than the basic R90s. That's why in our roads, which are not the best in the world, it can be used absolutely good. Hits us only on the very big asphalt problems, and even when we are riding sporty, then the suspension is going to keep the bike on the ideal line. The dashboard is absolutely simple. We have a speedometer and a small digital part in the bottom, which has time clock. We can step into the system of the bike from here. We have a odometer, 2 trip meters, and the third one, which is always starting the first engine start of that day, so it's a daily trip meter. And we have an engine temp, and we already went around. This bike doesn't have any BMW features like in which gear we are, what is the air temperature, or what is the average consumption of the bike, because we don't care about these. We buy an urban G per S, as we buy all the other heritage BMWs, to ride it, nothing else. We don't care about too much technical data. We don't even have an RPM because we hear it all the time. BMW R90 G per S is a very, very stylish motorbike. It brings back the R80 G per S style on a proper way to the 21st century. Not a long tour motorbike. It can be a second or third bike, or for shorter distances. But one thing is sure, the owner will enjoy it even when riding it or even when watching it.